Welcome. It's Psychic Tuesday. I'm your guide, Bernice Bisson. I'm going to start with the astrology off at the top, and we're going to talk astrology for the next 30 minutes and what's going on for each of you. And there's a message for everyone. And if you listen to your sun, moon, rising, I do use traditional Western astrology, whole house astrology. I do like asteroids and minor planets, asteroids. And I will say this. I actually find astrology probably the most predictive. And when you come to see a reading with me, I do work with your birthday. I go deep into the birthday if you want. We talk about karmic value, life cycles. We talk about what's coming up. I use it in a predictive way, and we break it all down for you into bite sized pieces. Now, we are going to start with a bit of the big astrology at the top. We might be feeling a bit worn out from all of this bombardment of communications we've probably noticed amped up over the last, 110 days or so. And we will see a bit of a plateau. And it always makes me nervous when there's silence, I guess, we do see the change of vibration with the transit of five major planet transitions. And so the first two are Saturn and Neptune. And right now, as we speak, going into Aries, which is going to completely change a lot the vibe. Over the last 14 years, Neptune has been in Pisces and it moves over to Aries. And Aries, Aries always gets this bad rap of the warrior and that they're just governed by Mars. And I just think that's a patriarchal view, an interpretation of what Aries is also the divine feminine. And she would be like the goddess Diana of, she protects Mother Earth. She protects the forest. She's a protector. She's an initiator. She is inspiration and innovation. She is bold and courageous, and that's really that Aries energy. And so with Neptune, which is really around the expansion of psychiatric, psychic, also anything around research, investigatory, virus, water, anything emotional, water energy. In Aries is going to be actionable items under those realms. And so we could see fast going initiatives, we could see tensions building, and we could see fast going initiative to address anything around wellness, mental health, and anything around the psyche and psychic. It's going to be the next 14 years are going to be advancing quite a bit in those areas. With Saturn joining Neptune in that Aries energy and a plethora of other planetary energy, but Saturn is very structured and it's about really restructuring that Aries energy, restructuring our actions in different parts of our lives and how we approach things, and the plans that we thought we might have had might take a turn and we wind up regrouping or redirecting ourselves under this Aries Saturn energy. We also have the transit of Jupiter into Cancerian, expanding out home, domestic, staycations, furniture shopping, really focused on the domestic realm. And that there's expansion in there, and that we could find increased numbers in staycations. Maybe people are going to look at also home renovation, home building, new home starts, the real estate market. It's going to be really expansive over the next 2 years under this energy. The next year, very much so. And then the last sort of major transit is Uranus and going into Gemini. I mean, we had started with Pluto into Aquarius this year, and then we've got Uranus into Gemini, which is unexpected communications, unexpected directions, time warps, both for forward and backward in terms of communications. So we could see a restriction in rights and communications, and then we could see the advancement of technology and communications all at the same time. And so there's some pretty powerful energy around this. Remember to stay patient with each other, that things will feel really sped up, really actionable, really like we feel like we have to react, take action, get moving on something. And that's not always the case. Sometimes we just have to hold space and Give time for sober second thought because this energy is going to move quickly, and people might feel like it's too impulsive, too much going on, too fast, and that each of us, it's going to rely on us to slow down, be patient, take our time, breathe. The reality is that unless you're a cardiac surgeon, you're not late for nothing. Okay, let's get going. We're going to start with Aries at the top. Oh, our little Aries with all this planetary energy coming into your sign. Hang on to your hats because I feel like this is a whole new era for you, Aries. You're really stepping into a whole new reality in terms of your love life, where you live, your career. This is brand new energy. And that the next 14 years are really around developing your dream life, your vision, what you've been wanting. So keep those visions clear, folks. Okay, and the message is your efforts going in is going to be something that you get back in any project that you're embarking on. You might find that it speeds up and that it's going to turn out bigger vision. You think it's entry level or you're just starting off on something, and it actually turns out to be quite large or takes on a bigger vision. Be ready to cooperate. You're going to be eager. Don't let your anxiousness get you under this eagerness, and that just be ready to show up to work with others and get done what needs to be done. It won't be below you. What you might think is below you, or like, oh, it feels frivolous. It's not. It's just that there's so much to get done that maybe whoever this is could be relying on you to take care of the details. There's lots of possible here, and I feel like you can get lots accomplished, lots achieved. You can find that. Be ready to follow your cause. Be true to your authentic self. Don't spend this kind of energy or spin your wheels, Aries, on careers, jobs, things that you're like, man, I don't know, I don't really want to do this. Don't spend your time with that because it's going to become bigger. You're going to require vision. It's going to require innovation from you. You're putting all your best steps forward, and that you might be put in charge of putting into action other people's plans. And that this could be a time over the summer that you really enjoy yourself. This could be a time of getting out socially, getting out with your friends, getting out to do things, and you could just feel like a whole new you. Some exciting energy for you guys there, Aries. All right. And again, you can listen to your sun, moon, and rising for your full message. Your sun is your divine masculine, based on your birth date and where the sun placement was at that date. It is your work, your career, your social standing, your friends. And then if you go into your divine feminine, which is like your moon sign, which is the location to which you were born, and that is very much your divine feminine, and it's your home, your body, your emotions, your inner self. And then your ascendant is very much around the time you were born. And that's about how you put your feminine and masculine together and you drive that forward every day. Daily tasks, routines, and attitude is sort of that ascendant. So listen to all three. All right. Now let's go to Tauruses. Now, boy, Tauruses, you're glad to see the back end of the planet Uranus. It is going into your second house of things you value and how you value things, how you see your values, your day-to-day activities around that. So you can find some changes and unexpected communications, disruptions, invitations that kind of pop out of the blue for you. You could find this might be a time of wish fulfillment, that it's a bit of a wish energy, that if you have things about, I've been wondering if this would go well, I'm wondering if that could go well, I say make a wish. You could find gains. You can find you gaining friends, gaining opportunities to go out, gaining opportunities, gaining weight, all those kinds of things. You're going to find that you could find yourself feeling a bit complete, feeling like, I've kind of got everything I want, everything I need. I'm feeling like I can go into the next step. I'm not sure what that could be. So I feel like this is a time of maturity, that things have come to mature. And this last 7 years of disruption might have really helped you grow in this way, and that you could really find yourself in a more patient, mature attitude, that you're feeling you're redeemed, you're saved, you're ready to step forward, you're ready to look at things in a new light, and that you're ready to recommit to yourself, recommit to plans you had, recommit to your goals, and really about your real worth, and really focusing on your value of yourself. And the planet Uranus is going to give you unexpected opportunities, unexpected as it exit out, goes into your second house of values, and you can get unexpected communications from people coming back to recommit to plans, jobs, ideas, thoughts, old trips you talked about taking could come around circle again, even in the next 7 to 10 days. Very much so. Thank you. Gemini, sun, moon, rising. Boy, Gemini, you're the belle of the ball there. You're getting that planet Uranus coming in. Jupiter moving out the one end and Uranus coming in the other. Ironically, sound dirty. But so for you, Gemini, this is going to be really about an undercurrent to things and paying attention to people's sign signals, the words they're saying. They mean what they're saying, and you think, oh, I don't know. I don't know if they really mean this. I feel like you should really pay attention and remain aware and mindful about what's around you, who's around you, what they're saying, what their plans are. You don't want to fall into any sort of delusion around this energy or falling into trusting, relying on someone, trusting they're going to follow through with everything, following what, saying what if they're saying it, I don't know. I feel like you're going to have to follow up with them. I wouldn't want to see you in a lost position. I feel like this is a time where you could feel like shrinking back. You could feel like things could feel a bit depleted. Remember to say no to things that don't really move you forward, Gemini, at this time. And I feel like you could find that you just want to take time off work. You want to go play with your friends. You don't want to have to get down to all the serious tasks and details. I feel like you only have a small reprieve. And then I think things are going to really speed up for you by the end of June in terms of outing, social contacts, returning messages, getting on top of the day-to-day tasks of things. So I feel like you might get a few days of quiet reprieve and letting go, and then it's going to speed up at a rate that you've never seen before. And then that's going to carry through for the next 18 months. So hang on to your hats there, Gemini. Cancerian, our little crabs, sun, moon, rising. Boy, oh boy, you have some pretty great, as we go into Cancer season, you have Jupiter coming to your sign, joining your sun. This is going to be you're going to have a very powerful new moon, really resetting things for you in a nice way. You don't have all of the blocks and barriers that you've had for the last few years. You could find real growth and expansion for you guys, little Cancerians, that this is a time, maybe of a bit of excitement, a bit of revolution, a bit of reconstruction in your life. You could find yourself maybe having to redo some parts of your house. You could be looking at taking up new projects around your house, getting things done around there. You could be getting ready for trips in the winter. You could be getting kind of excited about upcoming plans. You could look at and wind up getting some really good deals in the next 2 weeks or so around deals. Want to go have fun and get out with your friends. You could find that work could be a place where you have to really realign people, realign efforts, realign communications, realign or restructure some things around work so that it flows better or it's better organized. And that could even be around projects you're working on or things you're coordinating, even if you volunteer. So there's going to be some of those busy feelings. I feel like in terms of like romantic energy, I feel like there's options and you could see somebody in a new light. So you could see somebody in a new light that you already know. And you're like, you know what? Why didn't I see this about them before? You know what? They could look sparkling. They could look like that this could be the right person for you and that they were in front of you the whole time. And so you could be really seeing that in some way, Crab. New perspectives on people could show up, and that could be your current partner. You could see them in a new light and revive some of that relationship for you. Leo, sun, moon, rising. Oh, my Leos, this is a time of purging, detoxifying, resetting boundaries. Maybe you've got holiday time coming up. Maybe you're looking forward to holiday time and getting away. And so on one end, you could be really detoxifying a lot of things that have been in your life. You just got that shift of karma with the south new node of karma finally moving out of your sign. That could have ended relationships, reset relationships, put you into a different vibe with relationships. This is a time where you want to be flexible, flowing. Don't get dug in or stubborn around things. You can find that if you're stubborn or blocking, you can get blocked. You can get that energy mirrored right back at you and find yourself a bit frustrated. And that Don't let things bring you down. Don't let people's energy, negative talk, negative thoughts, negative patterns, habits bring you down. That this is a time where you got to cut the vampires off. You might really become what people could view as selfish. And I say, get selfish. Get focused on what you need. Put your own air mask on first. Make sure you have your own groceries. You got your own bills paid before you have to dish out money to other people who are in need as well. So there's some of this going on for you, but could be around your boundaries, Leo. Could be around that, and putting you into a zone where you're like, that's it, darn it, no more. I'm not doing this no more, and I'm sticking close to my boundaries. Virgo, sun, moon, rising. My little Virgos, this energy in Pisces, which is your house of partnership, and these planets moving, the rose colored glasses are off. The illusion is off in terms of relationships. You could find yourself falling in love. You could find yourself getting committed. You can find yourself ready for commitment, ready to go back to or restructure or look at old commitments, people that have been in your life where people and where you valued people. You can find that there is some new opportunities with work. You can find that you could have new customers, new clients, new people coming around, more interest in what you're doing. The boss could be shining on you, saying, hey, you're doing a good job. You could find this might be a time of consolidating your resources, consolidating debt, consolidating. You could be hoping somebody moves in with you, or that you've got something maybe around shared accommodations or shared resources that will benefit you in a big way, whether that be a romantic partner, a family member, or even a business partner. So some good stuff for you there. I feel like whatever you do, don't go backwards in relationships, Virgos. This is a time for you to move forward, let go of the past. And it's time for you just to grow forward and move forward in things. And you could be breaking some habits that have been bringing you down. And it might feel a bit isolating, but I feel like any risks you take here are going to pay off for you in a big way. Libra, sun, moon, rising, my little Libras. This is a time of metamorphosis for you. And especially with all this beautiful energy going into Aries, it's going to restructure your house of partnership. And in a big way, like you've never seen, you can find propositions in the air, commitments, propositions, proposals, and I feel like be willing to consider the potential, the new potential of things. And if you stay focused, you're going to be bound to, meet those goals that you've set out. You can find new openings in jobs in your current employment or new employment. You can find new openings in romantic situations. You could find that this is a time of, the old you, the old things that have served you, the old playbook, the old patterns just don't serve you anymore. And if you're single, you're ready to mingle. If you're in a committed relationship, you really want to maybe take this to another level. You can make a deeper commitment there. You can find a time where you're pausing and pondering, all the potentials that are opening up to you, and that, but stay focused on what's important to you and your goal. Don't get triggered or sidetracked or detracted by other people around you and their needs. This is the time for you to really follow through with what you need. You have great energy to finally achieve something, reach something, or make the commitment you've been wanting to make, Libra. Scorpio, sun, moon, rising. Scorpios, this energy has moved, and your focus might be on your money and your health. You could be really looking at your financial health. You could be trying to pay off debt, trying to get yourself sorted there. You could also be looking at your health and routines and addressing things around some of that as well. Excuse me. My throat is dry. You can find that the efforts you put in here really pay off. You can get on a savings plan, a budget. You could be cutting expenses, getting really focused. You could be consolidating debt, really looking at how you invest or finance things. So there's some real priorities and opportunities coming for you here. That this is also a time that if you take charge of your health, you could be addressing something that's been chronic or nagging, like my dry throat or cough, sorry. Or you could be getting into new routines or habits that really serve you well, and being able to stick to it over the next 6 weeks, very much so, and really getting back to um, getting your routines back on track is going to be really important for you, Scorpios. And this energy is going to support you in a big way, and that feels really good. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, our little Sages. This is a time that you could find that your partner could open up doors for you. Your companion could open up new venues, doors, opportunities, interviews, job finds. They might find a house. There's things that are going to really open up through your partner. And if you don't have a partner, it could be through a good friend, it could be through a family member, it could be through somebody you work with. And that I feel like this is a time where you're really feeling you're needing a change in work. You could be feeling you're really wanting to. Don't feel discouraged, like, oh, it feels like so big. I would just take the very first step. If you want to go back to school, take the first step and take one course, put your name, at least apply. Or if you're wanting a job change, go get a recruiter, go start seeing what's out there. Don't let the negative self talk discourage you. Um, I feel like don't let ignorance discourage you. I need you to research it, delve into it, get more information on to really build your confidence around some changes that I feel like could be coming around addressing your dissatisfaction. So if you're feeling dissatisfied in your job, it's going to be a time where you're going to start working towards your job change and start putting together ideas, thoughts, and opportunities, because I feel like it's going to come together for you. If you're looking at a location change, community change where you live, this is also a really good time around that. In terms of relationship, I feel like this is, I don't know that it's so much what changes a relationship. I do feel like it could be around deepening relationships, recommitting to relationships, and if you're single, really deciding what you want out of relationships, really getting clear on what relationships are meaning in your life and making room for it in your life. Because sometimes Sagittarius stay real busy and don't have the time or the space or the room to get into relationships. So something for you guys to think about, little Sagittarians. Then we've got Capricorns, Sun, Moon, Rising. Again, Caps, you've could be feeling a bit like you're in the edge of the abyss. And I'm going to say that this is a time for you, especially with Jupiter going into Cancerian, that anything you commit to in terms of your life path, your career, people, mortgages, relationships, commitments are going to serve, they're going to serve you well. And I feel like you want to lock yourself down to a couple of certain things in your life. You can leave the others to chance, but I do think you might be in the mood to really lock down a few things in your life, and that you could take pride in the work you've been doing. You can take pride in how much work you've done on yourself and how far you've come, Capricorn, because you really achieved. You might have quit some vices, really reorganize your finances. There's something that you're going to really start to see that your little bits of work and effort have really starting to pay off, and that you had foresight that was really convenient or paid off. You could find this as a time where you're feeling the affection of others. You could be feeling, friends, family, lovers really loving you up, thinking that you're great, remembering things about you, remembering what things that you might like. You can find that this is a time, if in your career work, that you could get a certification, a designation. You can get designated at work. You can get designated in a volunteer role, but I feel like it comes with a title. And so there's some sort of title you could be getting that you could take real pride in terms of things and endeavors that are personal to you or work endeavors. Aquarian, Sun, Moon, Rising, my little Aquarians. This is a time of resurgence, refueling, coming back to life, getting yourself back to feeling revived, getting yourself back. I mean, as we go closer into the summer, it's going to be a time where you're going to find maybe you have some off time this summer, some play time. You can get away, you can go and enjoy your summer. You might have a little trip this summer. And I feel like, travel that could be within 1,000 kilometers of your house, kind of stuff, that you could really find that it really is a breath of fresh air for you. And that don't have past regrets or remorses over failed relationships or failures that are just perceived. I feel like there were learning opportunities, and that this is a time for you to really regroup about how you approach things, how you want to do things, because I feel like you're really maybe purging old heartache, old feelings about things, old emotions about things, and that you could really find yourself, particularly as we get past Leo season and into the fall, you can find yourself also in very innovative learning environments, innovative environments, very stimulating environments, ones where you might be excited about the plans, excited about what's coming, excited about your involvement in them, and how things can move forward very quickly in some of these realms. So you could really find that this energy is going to come to you in a big way to help you really feel good about your day-to-day stuff again. And day to day I mean, like, your routes to work, if you live in an apartment complex, your neighbors, invitations with family, places, travels, and places you wanted to get out and about at, could all be really quite good for you. And that some of these invitations even or plans could even be known to you in the next 2 weeks or so. Pisces, sun, moon, rising. Pisces, boy, it's all good news, really. I really think that Pisces, you paid your dues over the last 14 years. Since 2019, though, you really had a whole plethora of planets. You had a Pisces stellium, and then tailing that, Saturn coming to your life, restructuring things. These planets have now moved into what you value, your daily values, how you're valued, cash flow, like romance, that kind of stuff. And boy, oh boy, there's going to be tons of planetary activity over the next 2 to 3 years in that area. Your second house, which is Aries, that's going to really light up your love life, your social life, your friends, getting back to yourself. You could find that this is a time where you increase your prices, increase your value, increase your position, increase your reputation, that you could be finding yourself really wanting to get out and about again and wanting to reconnect with people in your world. And again, you can listen to all three signs for your full message. And I wanted to thank everybody for joining me on my time on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck Television. I will let you know this is my final show. And with big hearts and big love, I am moving on to my painting project, and I would like you to visit my website at the Inspirational Women Company, www.inspirationalwomencompany, and you can see my new project I'm endeavoring on. You can nominate a woman in your world you'd like to be honored in this project. And so I'm going to be sort of stepping back from this kind of content. I still read full-time from my shop in Winnipeg, but I am embarking on this new endeavor at the Inspirational Women Company, and I invite you to join me there and drop me an email. Thank you so much. I send you love and light. Take care.